You're all good. I'm not concerned. Listen, it's Mercury retrograde. This stuff is bound to happen. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's cool. You and Montana's shoot came out so fire. Good morning and welcome to Dualitea. I'm your host Ash, and I was setting up the tripod, so I was a little distracted upon the intro. So, for being transparent, now this view is a little crazy, but I don't got the time to fix it, so y'all are just gonna have to see us from up there.
Oh, the lower one was better.
I know, I'm like, it was like so low, and I was just trying to work with it, but it's all right. They're gonna get this view of us anyway.
Period.
So, good morning.
Good
And
morning.
I want to welcome our special guest, Paris. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No problem.
And providing all that energy in the best way this morning.
Yes.
Very excited. I love that we're excited to talk about peace.
We are.
I love that. Love that.
Peace is important, okay?
Truly is. And, when we were discussing what we wanted to make a topic for this podcast, ultimately going to the topic and just like the statement of like, I just want peace,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I'm very much in that season as well.
Yes, it is important.
It's so
I think
important.
a lot of people forget how important peace is.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest, I was good without it. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to be, rowdy for a little bit for most of my life. And then I had a baby, and then things changed. Life happened. And then you just want peace. At the end of it all, I just want peace. I can't stop saying that one line. I just want peace. That's it. And at this point, it's like you get rid of whoever you have to get rid of, change whatever you have to change to get that. I mean, you might hurt feelings. It's no love lost. I don't dislike you. I don't hate you. I have all the love for you in the world. But you're not giving me that peace. So you got to go.
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody. I'm sorry. I don't discriminate. Family, anybody.
Yeah.
You got to go immediately if I'm not feeling that peace from you. And then it's real if you get rid of the person and everything kind of just calms down. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, definitely has. It definitely has.
When you get rid of that one person, but you love them to death.
Yes.
And it took everything in you to get rid of that one person.
Yeah.
And then you finally get rid of them. And then you realize it was them the whole time.
Yeah, or like the space that they occupied, I want to give grace for that too. Like, it's just like, oh man, that,
It's
you
sad.
just said a lot of things, and those things like very much so are
I
ringing
think people
true.
forget that, it has a lot to do with who you allow around you.
Absolutely.
There has to be boundaries in place.
Absolutely.
Boundaries, that's a big one. Like, listen, these are my boundaries. This is what I accept and this is what I don't accept. If you can't go by that, we can't be friends. We can't be cool. None of that. You go your way, I go my way. We copacetic, but you get the point.
Yeah. It's like we're grown at the end of the day. Like, things don't have to.
It doesn't have to escalate.
It doesn't have to escalate. It doesn't have to be extremely intense for us to like find endings into things.
Right.
And just like being able to move with grace and accept the fact that, like, maybe having this person in this in this specific position wasn't actually bringing me peace in the way that I needed peace. And I think that it's hard to not like to it can be difficult to kind of know where to place people in that as far as like blame, like, you or me. It's like the combination of the two, and just like all of the things.
It's just the chemistry of us together.
It's not
optimal. It just doesn't work.
It's just not optimal. Yeah.
It doesn't work. And sometimes it takes, like, I had a friend and we were friends for 4 years. And we just recently went our separate ways. And it was sad because I had love for her. We considered each other best friends, but at the end of the day, it wasn't conducive to my well-being. Like, it was stressful. It was always an argument. It was always she wasn't happy or something was always wrong
Mm-hmm.
with her. And you being that friend, you feel like you have to take that on as well because that's your friend. And it was just like, I can't do this. Like, I'm dealing with my own mess on top of your mess. That can't work because I already feel like I'm about to snap out. So to deal with yours on top of mine is too much. So, we called it quits. I still have love for her. If I see her, I would still say hi. But we just not in that space. And it's okay. A lot of people are scared to say it is so okay to outgrow people.
Mm.
It is so okay. It is not an issue. I'd rather you tell me, listen, we outgrew each other than you going behind my back and doing some
Just moving
unforgivable.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Don't move
Mm-hmm.
weird.
Yeah. Just be honest
I'd
with
rather
where
you
you
let me know what it is.
For sure. No, that's absolutely true. And it's like it could be difficult to get to that space. I feel like a lot of people have a hard time articulating themselves and like communicating and like having that moment where they feel confident to like speak up
Yeah.
and give space to that and also just accept it in general because I feel like different people for different reasons, whether it's platonic, romantic, even work related, any kind of relations that is not suiting them anymore, will rationalize it, will try to find ways that like, okay, but I invested time. But like I put this into it. I put that into it. You know what I'm saying?
That was
And
me.
just like settling for that because of like a certain kind
Because
of
of the time.
investment or energy or
Yeah.
like it could be even more.
But the main thing is the time. Because a lot of people look at the time. I look at the time. I'm like, I didn't spend 5 years and invested into this.
Yeah.
This is at that moment, it's not only time, it's
Energy,
emotions, it's
effort,
energy. So it's just like to just walk away from that after dealing with it for so long. It's hard, but it's the best thing to do because why would you? I shouldn't have stayed for the 5 years that I stayed for. You think I'm about to push it another 5 years? No, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Once
and that's the thing.
but I gotta go.
And that's the part is like, there's some people that come to that realization earlier and then they're like, okay, like maybe I should push through. Maybe I should stay longer. Maybe I didn't give enough time to like see how this works. Then there's the aspect of like, okay, I gave so much time, like I don't want to waste it, right? And I feel like no matter where you might find yourself out, if you're not having peace, like if you're not finding peace in your relations with whomever it is and interactions, like it's important to consider if it's what you want to occupy your space because like you were saying before, sometimes once you shift somebody out of a rotation, like the amount of peace that comes in and you realize like, oh, okay, like that wasn't there's nothing wrong with that person, but like this
it served us no purpose.
Yeah,
we had good
like,
times.
Yeah, it
we had
just
fun.
It wasn't optimal.
Right.
It wasn't optimal. It's like, when you're playing sports and like you put somebody in like center mid, like forward, defense, but like you have to shift people out because different people then start showing certain strengths and like certain where they're better at, and it's like, well, maybe this person isn't optimal in this position, but maybe they're optimal in that position, and however that
a
looks
lot of
for
people
whoever.
They don't like to get switched out.
Yeah, themselves. They don't like to get switched out.
They don't want to.
People don't want to switch them out
or try something different. Another thing is when it comes to peace, I've realized you have to always choose yourself. I just realized that actually. Just realized that. You have to always make a conscious decision to choose yourself. So I don't care what it is. Choose yourself at all times. In whatever situation. You come first.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, like when you start choosing other people before yourself, that's when shit gets weird. Like
very much so.
It's like that's when things get like really wonky and like everything in your life like starts to like not make sense because it's like you're not fulfilling your basic needs for yourself. Like period. Like if you catch yourself like waiting to do something or not to do something by the like beck and call of somebody else or like response and stuff like that, and it's like it's nothing to feel shameful about. Like we've all been in that space one time or another, but it's like just finding ways to pivot in that space.
Yeah.
Because and then also evaluating like
I find comfort in being by myself. We speak about this almost all the time, but I like it. I actually love it. I think it's the most peaceful thing ever. I've actually found comfort in being able, because before I was not able to go out and I wasn't not able, not the right word. I wasn't comfortable enough to go out and sit by myself at a table and take myself out to eat. I was not comfortable. And that was an issue because why am I not comfortable being by myself? I started going out to eat by myself. Girl, I love it now.
It's so interesting
I love
how
it.
this is like something that's like interesting is how I feel like each of the podcasts that have happened recently are just kind of like swooping into one another. Because that was like one of the topics I was talking about. Like that came up, I believe, in the last two podcasts. So like, first of all, like love that for you. That's amazing. That you are giving yourself your own, the gift of your own presence.
I have friends call me, what you doing? Oh, I'm out to eat. Well, myself. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. I could pay this tab. I could pay this bill. I could sit here, get a nice little drink with some food, and go about my business and continue to have a good day peacefully. That is the key word, peacefully. But yeah, you don't need nobody. I mean, it's good to have somebody around, but to feel like you always need somebody to be there, that is a problem. You should be okay with being by yourself. If not, get okay with being by yourself. Because it's very important. It is so important to just be. Sometimes my siblings got to knock on the door and make sure I'm okay. When I tell you I'm so content, I love that for me. I love it. It's so comfortable. I'd do it every day if I could, but money needs to be made, so I have to go to work.
Yeah, I feel that, and it's just to there's no peace like having your own peace with yourself,
Right?
And it's like most people, that's what they're avoiding constantly with like phones and relationships and situationships and all the drama and
even with trauma, you have to unpack that load before you even think about peace. And a lot of people are not ready to do that. A lot of people are not ready to sit down and put all their stuff out on that table and be like, this is what hurt me, or this is why I'm angry, and this is why I'm hurt. A lot of people are not ready to do that. Until you are ready to sit there and unload certain things and go through certain things, whether it's to be talked about or cried out or go to a smash room, whatever it is. Until you are ready to deal with those issues, I don't feel like, well, and this is just for me, I don't feel like you'll ever truly be at peace because you still have that trauma. You still have those things. You still have
you're not
that
identifying
anger.
Yeah,
right. You're just kind of ignoring the fact that it's there because you've done it your whole life.
Absolutely.
But it's still there, and you still have to go through it.
Yeah, it's going to just keep repeating.
Or it's just going to keep popping up.
In subconscious ways, and it's going to control you because anything that's subconscious that we don't make conscious controls and dictates the trajectory of how you're going to behave and receive and give or take and however that unfolds for you. So it's like, might as well look into it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, and
I mean, it might be hard because some of the stuff you don't even want to touch.
Yeah.
Because some of the stuff, for me, it was locked away. Lock and key gone, padlocked, code, everything. Yeah. You just don't want to go through it. There's certain things that I still don't even want to touch on, which is why I say I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. But I feel like we all are.
Absolutely.
We're not perfect. We're all going to have those moments where we kind of go a step back, just a little bit.
Because we have
But
to go
let's
retrieve
not
something.
get it confused, people. When I say peace, I do want my peace. But that don't mean you gonna talk to me crazy or do whatever you want to do because you see that I'm choosing peace.
Yeah.
Because it could go both ways.
I mean, you're not.
But
not
I'm being
wrong.
honest, though. It could go both ways.
Wrong.
Because a lot of people see you working on yourself and putting the energy in with yourself, and they think that old you is long gone. No, she right around the corner.
Yeah, don't
All
make
I
me
gotta
call
do
her.
is knock on that door, and
Don't
she
make me call for
outside.
her.
Don't poke this bear.
That's
That's really it. Like I'm working on myself. I'm a work in progress, but don't poke this bear.
Yeah.
Cause she ain't that far. She right there.
Mm-hmm.
I could go get she right there. But that's it. That's my thing. Like if I'm working and you see me working on me, don't disturb that.
Yeah, don't try to poke
don't
at
provoke
that.
it.
Don't
don't poke at it.
That's just like it's just, I mean, there's so many different ways that we could look at it when that happens, because like it's bound to happen at certain times, certain ways. It's like those tests, like, oh, are you really working? Are you really committed to working on yourself? Like, where are you at now? Oh, it's almost like not a totem pole, like the and
it's like certain situations you could walk away from.
Yeah.
But it's the situations where disrespect comes into play, or you feel like you're being tried.
Yeah.
Or I feel like somebody's trying to like pee-wee me. Don't pee-wee me. Don't do that. But just let me work on that. Which is why when you called, and I'm just like, I'm at this. Like, I just want to be to myself, because we know ourselves, so we know when the energy's a little off or something's not right. And it's kind of like, for me, when my energy's off or I'm just not in the mood, I give you that warning. Yeah. I give you that fair one. Like, listen,
because there's consent for it. Like,
I'm off. I'm a little off.
Yeah.
My energy's not right. And if you know me and you've been around me, you know my energy's not right. So with that being said, don't leave me alone. Mm-hmm. Don't provoke me. Yeah. Because it could go left real quick.
Yeah, and nobody needs that.
Keep it right.
And nobody needs it. And it's
nobody needs that.
And that's one of the brings me to like a really big clarifying point for me recently that was like super pivotal in the way that I was responding to my reality, in the way that when you realize that the worst version of you, or that left part
comes from loved ones,
when it comes out of you, when it gets invoked out of you, you get to see like where you're triggered, and like, yes, there's learning in that, but also like paying attention to like what, who, and where, and like also how they navigate that when it comes out.
You're speaking to my heart.
That's what you've been doing the whole time on this podcast.
I literally just went through that.
Yes.
I just went through that, and I literally had like a little what's the word?
A moment.
I had a moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't a little one.
Yeah.
It was, but I had a moment because it was just like,
I had a few days. I get it.
I was to myself, and you could clearly see that I was to myself. Yeah. So for you to then come and poke and poke and poke, I'm gonna bite your finger. Mm-hmm. Stop poking at me. Yeah. Like,
you already, especially when you
especially when I removed myself. Yeah. I'm telling you, I've gave you warning after warning. Now it's almost like you want me to bite your finger. Mm-hmm. Calm down, relax. Yeah. And then sometimes you see where it's coming from, and I'm not gonna hold you. It comes from family the most. I don't understand it, because it's like, you know me. We were raised together. Why you? It could have came from anybody, but it came from you. Why? Why are you trying to poke that bear and you see I'm working on myself? Yeah. Why you want to do that? You don't want me to be great? I want to be great. You don't want me to be great? But whatever. That's why I say anybody, if it's up and it's stuck, anybody could go. Mm-hmm. I don't have the time. I already don't even have the patience, but I really don't have the time. Yeah. Like, I don't care. But that's your sister, but that's your brother, but that's your mom, and that's your dad. And I'm just supposed to sit here and just take this because of who they are? No, you got to go immediately. I love you. I'm always here for you. And I can't stress that enough. I love you to death. I am always here for you. I will always have your back. But I got to keep you at a distance because it's not working. Yeah. Right now, in this moment, it's not working. Yeah. So you got to stay over there, and I'm going to stay over here for a little bit. It depends on the person.
It depends on the person.
It might be 2 weeks. It might be 3. It might be a month. It might be 2 years. Heck, I might be okay with the fact that I'm not talking to you and might not ever want to talk to you again. Yep. It depends. Yeah, it depends.
Every situation is
different. Situation is different. Yeah. Every situation is different. But peace is the main goal. It's one of my main goals is peace. Because who doesn't want peace?
Yeah. It's like, what are you willing to sacrifice to get it? You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And a lot of people aren't willing to sacrifice much. But I wasn't either when I first got on my journey. I wasn't either. I was so hard-headed. I thought I could keep the same friends, go to the same places, be around the same people, and then life hit, and it was just like, if you want to get where you want to get to, you can't hang out with these people. You can't continue to do the same thing and hang out with the same people and then wonder why you get the same result every single time.
Yep.
Girl, it's the environment and it's these people that you hanging with.
It's like if you're in the environment, if you're not in the environment that's going to promote growth, then you're going to start to rot. Mm-hmm. And when you start to rot, that shit stinks. That is not
Horrible.
good. That is not a great process. Mm-hmm. And like, it doesn't mean that any of these people are not good people. It just means that it's not the optimal environment that is for you.
It's just not for me.
Yeah. And it's like, once you become aware that, you can't unknow that. So either you have to compromise yourself to settle for that, or you have to like gain resilience and push through so that you can get to the next step. And then almost every time that happens, like you get to that next space and like there is breath for you. Like there is space for you. There is peace for you. There's a part of yourself like, oh, okay, you were ready to hand off the things that weren't serve you.
Right.
Here's some peace. Here's some.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Take
You got to keep working.
It.
But, and I think that that's the thing that people have a misconception of when it comes to peace is like, you don't just get it. It doesn't just come when you sit down and meditate. The first time you're probably not going to get peace.
Right.
You're going to get everything that comes before your peace. You're going to get everything that confuses you, everything that distracts you, all of this stuff, the dump that keeps you from your peace. But that is the gift because it's the only thing that you need to get through to get your peace, to actually obtain it. It's a blueprint. It's the directions, you know? So it's like when we start looking at these experiences, rather like, why me? Why is this happening? It's taking away my peace, this, that, and third. It's like, okay, close your eyes and just breathe for like 1 second. And what comes up.
Because sometimes people don't realize that you, as the person, as the individual, you have a lot to do with why you don't have peace either. Absolutely. And a lot of people don't like to admit that.
Sure. That's
a lot of people don't like to admit it. You are the reason, or most of the reason why you don't have that peace. You have to take accountability for that as well.
Because you're the person who can.
You allowed all of this.
And even if it's something that you didn't allow, like you know, say something you
just went through.
Yeah. You still let it stick. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that could be for trauma, that could be for this, that could be for that. We could rationalize and find a million reasons why. We can empathize, and as we should. It's good to empathize, you know, but like not over empathizing, because it's like when you over empathize, that's what gets you to the space where you don't have peace anymore in the first place, because you over empathize for other people's like reasonings for their behavior while you're still not getting what you need in that dynamic, you know. And whatever it is, whether it's a job that you don't feel like you're getting paid enough for, or whatever the case is, and you've spoke up on it, like when you know you've done your part and there's still a dissonance,
Right.
and you're just making reasons and rationalizing why that person's like that instead of just embodying the fact and accepting the fact that like this is not what you want in that moment, instead of projecting potential on whatever situation, person, or place.
Right.
That's like when the peace starts to come in, because it's like you're being honest with yourself. And I feel like the more that I'm the type of person, not only do I need to be honest with myself, but after I'm honest with myself, I tend to need to be honest with whoever is involved. You know, like,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about it. Like, I want to.
That's sticky for me. It depends on the person. Because if you know me, you know, I don't have a problem with telling somebody how I feel. But I feel like it depends on the person. Because while I don't care about hurting your feelings, I really don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
But I really don't. That sounds so mean. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I really don't care if I do. Because this is my truth. And you have to hear it. Well, you don't have to hear it. You don't even have to listen to it, but I'm going to tell you how I feel.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree. We could agree to disagree.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I got to get this off my chest real quick.
Yeah. And I feel like as long as we do that in like a consensual manner where we're like, hey, like, you know, I got to talk to you. Like, are you open for this conversation? Is how we can like gain footing in that. Because like for me, like coming from the spectrum, there's certain times where I feel that exact same way. And I'm like, I need to get this out. Like, I don't care. Like, I do care, but I don't care, you know? And then there's other times where it's like, I care too much.
While. I feel like I have to be really fed up. Really, really fed up. To say how I really, really feel, I have to be really fed up. Like, on the verge of, like, losing it before I'm able to really, you got me effed up.
How do you feel? Like, what do you feel is the catalyst? Like, is it time? Is it the heaviness? Is it like what is the opening that happens? Like, what is like, okay, like I'm just done. Like, is it I'm just done? Or is it like, have you found at different times that you were able to communicate before you got to that point? Or how do you think you can?
See, for me, I'll never just be done with the person. For me, I give you several chances. I'm fair. Some people think I'm too fair. I give you several chances. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not about to keep repeating myself over and over and over again. That's not what I'm about to do. I'm not going to keep repeating myself.
It's disrespectful to ourselves.
If I'm telling you, listen, this is the problem. This is what needs to be fixed. Either we can fix it or go our separate ways. And you looking at me like you don't know what the hell I just said. It's clip. You gotta go. Because first of all, why are you not comprehending what I'm saying to you? No, you gotta go. And then sip tea. But you gotta go. What's wrong with you? Because it's just like, and normally people don't respond until you're completely done. And I just think that is so bizarre. Why in the hell do I have to tell you 3 or 4 times what is the issue? And then when I get to a point where I'm done with it, you want to come back around and now you want to fix it? I'm done. I checked out. I'm checked out. It's done. This is done. This friendship, relationship, conversation, it is done. I tried to talk. I told you what was wrong more than once. You chose not to fix it. So at this very moment in time, you got to go. Because you wasn't hearing me when I was speaking. And then it gets to a point sometimes where you feel like you're almost begging. I'm not about to beg you to have a conversation with me. You done lost your mind.
You know,
no.
This thing, just, I don't even have words right now because of the threads. It's like, it's for me that we don't know each other's experiences, but we're speaking directly to them.
Right.
It's that part for me. Like, I'm like speechless.
I feel
like
it's the tea. It might be the tea. It might.
Well, cheers to the nourishment and to the conversations, the integration of it.
It's the tea, but it's real. Why if you're my friend or whoever you are, if you are in my space, I should only have to tell you once. maybe
twice if you really can't.
There's an issue or there's a problem.
If I'm on like 7+, like what am I doing? What am
I
doing?
But if I have to constantly keep repeating myself like you a kid, like we're kids, I'm not doing that because now it's just parenting. I'm looking at it like, okay, first of all, you being disrespectful because I already told you to check it at the door, and you ain't check it at the door, and now it's just like you're not taking me serious. Yeah.
It's like, or you don't have the capacity to, and if you don't have the capacity to, say that and own that. You know what I'm saying? Like, own the fact that that's not where you're at, and like we can then navigate from that space from an authentic place, because like if you're over here like claiming like you can and then you can't, then it's just like we're just bringing more confusion because I want to believe your words.
At that point, it's not even confusion. It's frustration.
It is frustration.
Because what am I dealing with?
And I feel like for myself, that's when the abandon of self comes in. Like where I'm like, yo, I'm literally not choosing myself. Like I'm abandoning myself every time I'm like, yo, this is the last time I'm gonna say it. And then it's
like you say it 2 more times after the last time.
And it's just like, oh my God. Yeah, it's like shit. Like
I stopped. I had to stop repeating myself.
Oh my goodness. And when you stop,
it's like between the stop repeating yourself and setting boundaries, those are my main 2 things. Boundaries are important. You're going to know what I require before you step in these doors.
Absolutely.
You have to know.
And if the right people will honor that, the right people will also have some to contribute. Like if I come into a space and you don't have boundaries, like that's telling of like how far this
I don't
want to
deal with nobody who don't have boundaries.
No.
That's scary.
It's very
Because that just means that you just let any and everybody do any and everything, and you just don't care.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that because with me, you can't do that with me.
And people...
I'm sorry.
I felt that
but you can't do that with me.
Yeah.
I'm working on myself, but I be look, okay.
Yeah, no, because at the end of the day, it's just like now you're not even respecting yourself, you know. Yeah. So like, what are we doing? Like, if you don't respect yourself, and I respect myself, how can I respect you? You don't even respect yourself,
right? I can't take you serious.
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna laugh the whole time.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna
in your face.
It's like I'm gonna end up being a clown at the end of the day, entertaining the circus, because that's the only shit that we're gonna be on.
Right.
Like, cause there's nothing. It's
no boundaries.
There's nothing.
There's no, even with friends.
Yep. Oh yeah, especially with friends too. Like especially friends.
Don't get me started on relationships. Boundaries.
Well, they need it, and like on the flip side, I feel like on the other side of that, when you finally am like, okay, I'm getting off this roller coaster. Like
it
this shit is
so good to get off the roller coaster. It feels so good, and I'm not gonna hold you. The first 10 minutes of the roller coaster, it might be a little entertaining.
Of course, it's fun.
It's a little.
That's why you got on the ride in the first place.
It's a little fun, you know. You know, you got on it, you seen the bright lights. It was cool.
Adrenaline.
It was cool.
Ups and downs.
But now you done got it. You rode it. You rode that thing for too long.
Motion sickness.
Emotion sickness. Right. Get up off that roller coaster. Yeah. It's not worth it.
Yeah. No. It's like broken. You about to get ejected. You're risking your life at this point. Like
you sitting up there. Right. It's giving Cyclone at Coney Island. Get off that broken down roller coaster. Seriously.
Facts. Yeah. And like to have the capacity when you do get off, and when you do start to walk, and when you.
But you have to get off. You also have to have the mindset that you're gonna get off that ride and stay off that ride. Yeah. Not get off that ride
and buy another
ticket
for it.
Buy another ticket for it and get back on it a couple months later. No, you cannot do that.
And sometimes that takes a little bit of a process, and sometimes.
Oh no! It definitely.
Sometimes it.
That's how real it is. It definitely does. It
Mm-hmm.
definitely takes getting used to, because there's situations, I've been in situations where I should have left a long time ago. Yeah. But the love and the time is what kept me there a little bit longer than I should have.
I also think sometimes it's like the attachment to the outcome that we wanted.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
The attachment to the outcome that we wanted, when we're like, this is what I wanted. Like, this is what I wanted. Can it still be possible? Can it still be possible? And it's like, like for that particularly, I'm stepping out of this season of like, it was like very dimensional. Like it it wasn't just like one situation. It was like one situation that opened up this series of situation that was birthed from this other situation that was actually birthed from like an immense amount of trauma.
Right.
And like all of that where I'm like, I don't even think I want anything like that
anymore.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even think.
Yeah.
I know I don't. Like, I know I don't because it's like that's
because the
not
things
even
that
impressive.
interest you when you were younger they no longer serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Like for me, my pet peeve is talking to somebody and not getting a solid conversation with some substance. Don't come to me with no stupid conversation. You want to turn me off? That's going to do it. Yep. It's going to do it every time. Don't come to me with that. Do not come to me with no stupid conversation.
Yeah.
And the conversation, it needs to have some substance.
Absolutely.
We are adults. Okay?
Yeah, we don't have time for just
I don't
nonsense.
have time for you to come up to me and ask me what color the sky is. We all know.
Yeah.
Look up. I don't need to answer that.
Or even just like entertaining, like my biggest pet peeve, one of my big pet peeves, is like, or just like rather than say pet peeve, I would just say like something that just doesn't feel resonant to my spirit, like something that doesn't resonate good in my body, is when people are complaining like a lot, like when they're complaining a lot about different things, like coming to me. And like, you know, listen, we're all humans. We're going to complain about different things. But when it's like a consistent thing and it's like cyclical things of like, you know, this is like just pouring so much energy into like the hatred of something in communication.
See, well, I'm one of those people who complain.
We need to do your chart because we know your sun sign. We need to do the rest of your chart.
I'm one of those people who complain. Especially if I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
I'm complaining about everything. I'm complaining about the manager at work. I'm complaining about how the guy is breathing next to me. Why are you working so close to me? Why are you walking so close to me? Why are you in my face? Why are you saying good morning to me? It is too early for you to be saying good morning.
For you to be speaking. And
but that's only when, like, I'm just not in a good mood.
Yeah.
I complain. Don't. But if I'm not in a good mood.
When you're in the season of not being in a good mood.
I'm not in a good mood.
Yeah.
You might not be the friend for me, friend. Because I'm going to complain. But that's okay to say, like, listen, that complaining thing, I don't do it.
It's like, it's not that I don't, like, because I'm not one of those, like, false positivity only type people, like, at all. Like, I complain about things. I don't don't
But you
like
probably
certain
do
things.
it to, like, a bare minimum type thing.
I feel like I give it space when it comes up, and then I said, I don't want to give it that power. You know, that's literally what I discussed with myself. Like, as soon as, like, say I'm in car, right? Someone cuts me off, does some like reckless shit, right? And I'm like, you're dumb. Like I might say some shit.
You on your grown woman stuff.
But then I'll stop.
Me, I would cut the person off.
You know what? I'm not trying to risk my life. Cause for what? Then I'm
but
giving
see, when
them,
I tell you,
I'm giving them the keys to
I'm
my
a
life.
I'm a work in progress, people. Because she's where I want to be. And somebody else is probably where you want to be. And that's this thing we call life. Yeah. But
it's the willingness to say that.
And it's okay to admit like
yeah.
your flaws. Like I'm petty. I'm petty. I sure am. I complain a lot. I'm not the easiest. I am. I'm not gonna say that about myself. I am. Well, first meeting me, you might get like a little confused mixed signal because I don't want you reading me. What you reading me for? Like,
can we tell them what your sign is?
Go ahead.
You got
you want me to tell?
You can say.
People. I am a Virgo. I sure am. I'm a whole Virgo. September 12th Virgo. That's who I am. And I'm not like you. You just give off very like friendly, open. Me? What?
It depends on where you meet me though. It really depends. Like
no, I'm looking you up and down like 5 times. When I first met you, I side-eyed you a couple times. I had to check your temperature. But I do it to everybody. If you don't want your temperature checked, don't come next to me because I'm going to check it.
I feel like, I mean, like when anybody, because
and as soon as she see me, she said, you got to be a Virgo or a Scorpio. And I said, how you know? And once she said that, I said, okay, we're going to be cool because she already know what it's like dealing with a person like me. So we are right. Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, I feel like when I'd rather somebody comes to that space and check me. Like, or evaluate me in that way.
I gotta check the room.
It's funny because, like, the thing that I feel like, you know, Virgos, Scorpios kind of like embodies, like, y'all are like, don't read me. I'm reading you in depth.
That part. Yeah.
But don't read me. And I think it's funny, like, personally, because, like, I just peep it, especially when anyone reads me. I'll peep it from a mile away. Yeah, no, I'll turn my head and I'll be like, oh, okay. You're assessing me.
But it's not like a read. It's like a
assessing the vibe.
Yeah,
like, do I trust this space?
It's times where I have friends that invite me amongst their friends that I've never met before. Yeah. And I'm the type of person, I don't really like to talk too much anyway. I will sit in the corner. Yeah. And I will stare at everybody that walked through that door. And once I feel like I'm okay to mingle amongst them, then I will. If I don't feel comfortable and if I'm getting like this weird energy, I will stay in the corner the whole night.
Absolutely.
And if I don't want to be in the corner, I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm going home. Like, I've never
it's
had
very
to
simple.
Go home.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's like I have a Virgo Mars, so like my actions can be like that. You know, and like. So it takes one to know. And so when I see those different things, right? But simultaneously, for me, like, when I feel someone do that, I'm like, go ahead. I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to hide.
I mean, I don't really have nothing to hide. I really don't. I don't have nothing to hide either. But yeah,
but it shows up in a different way, and that's fine.
I'm
like,
just
you know
very like,
this is like
what you get is what you get with me.
Yeah, and that's
I
good.
can't fake the funk.
I like that,
and
though.
I'm not about to. Like, you gonna get what you get.
Absolutely,
like, if
and
I'm
that's
mad,
in
you
the
gonna
space.
get that. If I'm happy, you gonna get that.
That's
Don't try
real.
to tell me to fix my face.
No,
that's another thing. You see it all. I can't help it. I try to hide it.
I can resonate with all that.
I try to hide it so bad.
I don't even try to hide it. I just address it now because I'm like, you are gonna see it in my
crazy.
face. Yeah.
I do a mean side eye. What? It be so mean. They be like, we don't really. I've had some of my friends come up and go, oh, my friends don't like you. They think that you're too bougie. Bougie. I have my times, but I wouldn't say bougie is not it.
It's just the
because
fact that
I'm reading the room because I want to see what you about. That makes me bougie. So then be it. I'm bougie. And what next? I know I won't be back in your space no more. Yeah. Thank you, but no thank you.
Well, at the end of the day, it cuts the bullshit like of having to pretend like I'm not good at that either. Like, for example, with the space that I met you is like shout out to Elva. Love Elva. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Elva.
I love Elva.
The only person that really knows how to deal with me. And it took her a minute. She was like, friend, I've had a lot of Virgo friends, but you're different. Like, Elva's that type of friend. Like, she'll pull up. She's one of those. Like, I tell her I'm not feeling good. She bring me soup. I tell her I'm not in the mood. That's the real friends. I don't answer my phone.
Shout out to the soup friends.
Right. I tell her if I don't answer my phone and she knows I'm in one of those moods, it's times where she's pulled up on me and knocked on the door and said, we not doing this.
Yeah, nah.
And I've never had a friend like that. Yeah. So for me, it was just like, did this heifer just pull up to my house?
To make sure I'm okay? Like aggressive tear.
I'm like, did she just? Okay, she's that kind of friend.
Yeah.
The older you get, but
because
my friends or people that I thought were my friends, they've never. Yeah. I'm not feeling good. I'm not in the mood. I don't answer my phone. They're not pulling up.
Yeah.
They might call me, double text me, but they're not they're not coming from where they are to come and check me and make sure I'm okay.
Yeah. Nah, I love a pull-up friend.
Yeah. I love it. It was very weird at first.
Yeah.
But after the second time, I was like, all right, this is something I'm just going to have to get used to.
Yeah.
Like, you just going to keep pulling up on me, popping up. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Well, it's cool to say like when people show up for you like that, and like I have a very immense love for Elva. So like when she spoke so highly of you, and then I met you, like I gave you so much love off the rip because I'm like, I trust Elva. You know what I'm saying?
Elva tells me all her friends are nice, and they are. But I don't know that at first. I be having
You gotta assess everybody, of course.
And who are you? And I be asking a question. I'm like, Elva, your like and my like are two different likes.
Yeah.
So
that happens a lot, especially when it's like someone, one of your close friends.
But one thing with her is she doesn't force it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people who force their friends on other. They want all of their friends to be friends, and that's not necessarily the case. Yeah. Just because I'm friends with this person, if you might not like this person, you might not get along with them, you might not even want to be around them. I'm not going to force you guys to be in the same space because you guys are both my friends. No.
Yeah, no.
I tell Eva all the time, I have two different sets of friends. When I want to be ratchet and go outside, I have those friends. And that's not to say she can't get ratchet, but you're married. Mm-hmm. It's a respect thing. Yeah. I would never bring you out to the ratchet side. Mm-hmm. That's not cute. But if we want to do like a cookout, food, you want to come? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just, friends.
Yeah, there's different groups and spaces for different
people.
Absolutely.
Don't be one of them people that force all your friends to hang out. That is not okay.
Yeah, don't do that.
Do not do that.
Yeah, no, it's
because then somebody is just gonna be sitting there looking real uncomfortable and real stuck.
I feel like I'm usually that person, and then I leave, and then I'm just like, yeah, and then I'll go, in a lot of those.
Sometimes I don't even show up. Mm-hmm. I will not show up.
And that's even to family things, too. Sometimes I just don't got that energy for it.
There's times where my friends have had people that I wasn't too fond of, and they were there, and I did not go because...
You chose peace. You chose peace within yourself.
Definitely, because I definitely had the mindset of, if I was to go, I probably would have went upside her head. So you right, I did choose peace. Look at that growth.
Exactly.
Growth.
Exactly. And it's like when
and they was upset at first, but then I had to listen. And this is why I said you have to choose you first at all times. I know me. I might get like 2 drinks in, and I might tell you how I really, really, really feel about you, and I don't want to do that because you already know I don't really like you. So I don't need to go any further than me not really liking.
Yeah.
No, so I'm just going to stay away. Enjoy. Have fun. Yeah. I wish I was there, but I'm not. Tell me about it some other time. We could do a part 2 without the +1. And then, it's not funny.
It's the delivery for me.
I'm just being honest.
I know, and I love that. That's
that whole little cookie cutter. I could get along with people. I could sit in the room. I could walk. I could be in a room.
Yeah, I could be respectful. I could be cordial, but I'm not going to sit there and give everyone that energy.
With 1,000 people who don't like me and still be comfortable. Yeah. In my skin. Like, you're not about to move me. Mm-hmm. I don't get moved very easily. Yeah. You can't shake me. Mm-hmm. I'm unshakable. You can't move me. Mm-hmm. I don't care what it is. I don't care who you are. I'm not about to be moved by your presence. Now, me on the other hand, I make somebody feel real uncomfortable real quick. And it's not on purpose. Mm-hmm. I promise it's not on purpose. Maybe it's just, I don't know what it is.
It's an energy. It's just because, you know what it is and you're honest to what that feeling is. Mm-hmm. I understand because, I very much so have that as well, and I don't mean to, because I don't ever want to I don't like bullying. We were talking about before, I don't like bullying, so I don't want to energetically bully anyone. Simultaneously, I'm not gonna look at it. I don't. That's what I'm calling it right now.
Well, don't call it bullying.
I don't think it's energetic bullying unless you're doing it on purpose.
Oh no.
Now when you're just when you look at somebody in the room, you walk into the room, there was an event not too long ago where my friend's event, and I walked into the bar and I pulled up and one of the second faces I seen was a person I just genuinely don't fuck with. Mm-hmm. And it's I don't hate you.
But I just don't mess with you.
Literally want, we just don't, we don't jive. We just don't see the same things eye to eye and whatever the case is. So but I know that walking into that space, I just looked at her, I walked in, I was okay, I'm here. Okay. And then I looked and I looked at her and I was just I know in that eye contact, she felt, I looked at her and I was oh, that's your face. I don't like you, but that's okay. Right. And just saying that to yourself exudes that. And because especially if that person is looking for something different,
right?
They feel it because you're just being honest about where you're at. Mm-hmm. without having to speak. So I think that that's why people navigate that space. They feel it because you're just being honest with yourself.
Oh, so then it's not a me thing, it's a you thing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You're just being honest. It's not even. Yeah,
I can't. Yeah, no, I can't fake the funk. I can't. I just can't. I'm to a space where I'm not. I feel like I did it for so long, trying to like please other people and make other people happy. You gonna know when I'm not happy.
Absolutely, and
you gonna know when I'm not happy because somebody else is here.
Yeah, I'm
gonna tell you. I'm gonna let you know. I'm not gonna embarrass you though. I'm gonna wait till your function is over, but you're gonna hear my mouth.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
I'm not done.
No,
because why would you ever have me in this space?
Put me in that position.
Don't ever. Yeah. That's terms for you to get cut off as a friend.
Absolutely. If you know consensually,
if you know
for sure
that me and this person or me, whoever it is, if you know for a fact we don't mesh well, and you still put me in the situation to be around this person after you know for a fact we don't mesh well, me and you not gonna mesh well after that.
Because you're like
it's clipped because why you put me in a situation where it can go either way.
Yeah.
Why don't put me in no situation like that? Because I'ma always choose violence. Let me
not me instantly agreeing with you and then being like, wait. Wait, hold on. This is about peace. We want peace.
No. No. Yeah. It was a joke. It was a joke. We don't choose violence.
Not anymore.
We don't choose violence anymore.
Yeah, no. Anymore. We're actively working on choosing peace. You know, and like at the end of the day.
Like I said, though, I am a work in progress. So what that means is approach me with caution.
Yeah, absolutely. With discernment,
I have a warning label, caution tape. Approach me watch how you approach me. That's a big thing with me. Yeah. Because once you approach me the wrong way, I might not ever want to be in your space again. Don't watch how you approach me. Some people don't really like to approach me because they say I look mean. But
there's some questions. Well, I wanna also address that. Like, if somebody is intimidated by the way that you look off the rip, too, like
they do,
then like
very much so. And you know what? I get it from a lot of older women. They don't like me very much. I don't know why.
I think that there's a middle ground. I think there's a middle ground. Like when you realize, like when you go into a space, like, you know, there's certain times and spaces where like, I know I don't look approachable because I don't want to.
But in a lot of situations, I always tell people, friendships or wherever, when it comes to me, and I had to learn this from dealing with people, I wasn't always secure with myself. But when I got there, baby, you can't tell me nothing about me. I think I'm the baddest thing looking. Don't let me have a few drinks. You're gonna see me on Snap all night. But it's when you get around those people or those friends who expect you to kind of dim your light because for them to shine a little bit brighter. And I refuse. I tell all my friends this: if I have to dim my light for you to shine,
then you're not my friend.
You're not my friend.
And on top of that, like, and at the end of the day, if you come off like intimidating, like if you come off intimidating, people who aren't meant to be intimidated won't be. They'll just be like, yo, that's where you're at, like, cause like that's where you're at right now. Yeah. Like, you know,
and that's what I said. It brings me back to when I was like, I could walk into a room with 100 people who don't necessarily like me.
Yeah.
And I would not care.
You'll be all right.
It don't
because
move
you know
me.
Why you're in that room.
Because for one, you're not about to move me out this space, and for two, I don't care.
Yeah, and you know why you're in that room. But to answer Kim's question, she said, "Do you ever regret what you say to a person, like in the heat of a moment, and say something that you regret later and realize it was a mistake?" Yeah. For sure. Like, that's definitely something that I am doing a lot less of in my life at this moment. But, I mean, that's definitely existed, like, throughout my life, like, getting so heated. But, like, at the same token, it's usually not what I said. It's the way I delivered it is usually what I might, like, look back and regret. But at the same token, like, I feel like holding on to that. If it's done, it's done. The best thing you can do is like if it's like if you feel a way about it, you come to that conclusion of making peace with yourself, you know, apologizing to the person if you feel like maybe not for what you said or how you said it rather, and then like moving on, whatever it's gonna find you peace.
I don't regret anything I say to a person, but like you said, sometimes my delivery can literally be black and white. You gonna get it however it comes out. I'm not about to sugarcoat with you. I feel like we old enough and we grown enough to take it, receive it, and do what you want to do with it. Yeah. I'm not. It takes too much time to try to sugarcoat it and find a nice way to say. It's no nice way to tell somebody about this. Like It's no nice way to tell someone about this.
Yeah, I mean, like like I was saying before, I think it's just a matter of consent.
Yeah,
like it
depends on the person because you have people who are sensitive than others.
Yeah.
But then you also have those people who are sensitive when it comes to their feelings, but when it comes to other people, they're the same way as you when it comes to not sugarcoating.
Yeah.
But when it comes to them, it's more like, well, you don't have to talk to me that way. But it's okay for you to talk to other people that way. No.
Yeah, but two wrongs don't make a right. You know, and it's just like, you know, not being spiteful in that way because it just ends up spiting ourselves. You know, so it's like I feel like as far as like being able to sleep at night and not having those regrets in that way, the best thing we can do. I sleep at night
perfectly fine, especially when I say what I have to say. I sleep good because it's off my chest. I don't have to hold that.
Yeah.
You know how I feel. Take from it what you want.
And that could be something in a positive light as well. You know, like when we have the courage to speak, you know, about things.
And you should never be afraid to tell a friend, a true friend, a real friend, they're not about to get upset with you for speaking your mind. You got something to say it.
Yeah. That's why, like, what I've always been the friend that has done that. And, like, what I've learned is just being like, hey, are you open to feedback on this? Like, even just saying that and then the person being like, yes, and saying that. Not only is it good for them and making a space for them to receive, but it actually also is a retainer for me, for them having consent. Like they signed it. They were like, I'm
not asking you for no consent.
Yeah.
I'm going to say what I need to. You so nice asking people for consent.
It took a long time.
I'm not doing that.
But that's not, it's not even about being, like, I don't even feel like it's about being nice. I feel like it also, I feel like it's just, it covers me as well. Yeah, we can actually. And I feel like it covers me as well because it's like, when you're the person who's constantly speaking the truth all the time, people start avoiding you. They start hating on you. They say things behind your back. All these different things. Things come up, and they don't come up directly. They come up in short, and they come up slow. And then you realize that all the people that you thought was fucking with you are not fucking with you. Actually, they like low key hate you, right? I was getting sick and tired of that cycle happening.
I would never.
Just like, I would like, never. You know, I'd rather you be like, all right, do you really want this? Because like, if you really don't want this, why am I gonna give you my energy about it? If you really want, like, if you ask me like, oh, okay, like this, what is your opinion on this? Like, do you really want it? Do you really want my opinion on this?
I'm asking
because because it's like, if you don't, then like you have to ask yourself in that moment, like, do I actually want that? Because if I hear something other than what I actually want to hear, am I gonna feel indifferent?
But that's where being grown comes into play at. Because if you ask somebody for their honest opinion, don't get upset at what they tell you. You asked for it. They're giving you what you asked. Why are you upset?
And that's the retainer. That's the retainer for me because like other times people would tell me things and I would just say. I would just say. And I'm like, oh, well, obviously you're telling me.
Oh, that's why you want them to sign a little consent form.
Exactly. Because it's like, because I already thought it was consent. It's like, if you're having a conversation with me, then obviously you want me to say something, right?
Right.
But sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes people just want to get it out and they need a safe
people
space.
Are different.
Yeah, and that's what I've learned with like that. Because sometimes I don't want feedback.
Sometimes I just want you to listen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just be that front to shut up and listen.
Exactly. But we need to know what we need, you know, and state that to people too. Like, and that comes from within. That's our piece. Like, if you're like, okay, this is my decision. I know that if I get too many opinions, I might go back and forth on it. So
I might not want to hear
it. Yeah, I
might ask you for your opinion, and at the time, depending on what my mood is, I might not want to hear it. Yeah. But I take it. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna always listen to it. I take it. I'll probably go back to it. Yeah. But I would never get upset. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Mm-hmm.
I like honesty, you know. And
I appreciate honesty.
I respect it
more than anything. Yeah. I want you to be honest.
Absolutely.
I want you to be honest, and I want you to tell me the truth. I want you to tell me everything. It should never be a situation that where someone can come to me and tell me anything about you that I don't already know. Mm-hmm. That's friendships, relationships, whatever type of ship it is. Mm-hmm. I want to hear it from you before I hear it from anybody else.
Yeah, and even if you don't, that, like, I don't want to feel like sidetracked, like, where it's like, if I present it to you, I don't have to feel like I have,
and like, the person don't know what to say.
I feel like, oh, hey, like, yo, like, this is, like, it's not a secret. Like, you know, that's, like, I feel like that's a big thing when it comes to just, like, any communication in general. I feel like the people that I tend to have on the podcast, like, are people that share the same values and morals in that way, because, you know, people who don't want to get honest and real don't end up here. Like, it'll cancel, it won't end. Like, there's so many different things. Like, if they're not able to come to that
they're not ready for that conversation.
Because there's nothing scripted about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had our phone call, boom, okay, we found a topic. All right, I'll talk to you then, boom. You know, and it's just organic. So it's like, to be able to have a live, organic conversation, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be
honest with yourself, not only yourself, but with everybody else. And you definitely have to be secure. You definitely can't be insecure.
No, and you have to work for that, you know. And like, so in regards to the candle, I'm gonna light it. I want to light it with intention. So this candle I had made a candle in this candle. And then I took that candle out because it didn't work out. And it was kind of symbolic of a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And
you tried to put two candles together.
So then I just made a new candle.
Wasn't working.
Then I just put a new candle.
I like how that sounds.
Mm-hmm. And I just poured.
Sounds like my life.
Yeah, it's like literally I have my head on it.
It sounds like my life. Like hold on, you tried to put two candles together and it ain't work out.
You know, I froze it, I took it out, you know, I got it out, and then I just poured this new one, and I have like two candles coming out. You know, Ashes and Herbs, follow it if you haven't already. I have a sun candle.
I am a candle.
I gotta show you my. Well, you smell this one.
But
I gotta
show
you my other candles.
I'm like a big little kid. I like fruity scents, like cupcakes.
Sweet.
I love me a sweet scent. Mm-hmm. Don't give me no linen. I don't want no linen yet.
You want like pink sugar?
Yeah, I want pink lemonade.
All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's good to know. I'm like, I'll keep it in mind. But yeah, like, you know.
Starburst.
Pink Starburst. Mm-hmm. Specifically. Yeah, I'm like, that's the only one I eat. But yeah, so I poured these two new candles that y'all are getting like a little bit of exclusive content. I have a sun candle coming out and a moon candle coming out. So they're both symbolic of this. This is both. Combined. So I combined these two candles.
Okay.
So this is for me, for my piece, for me to embody both. So for myself. Like that. And this is the only one that I combined it like that. So
are you going to combine more, or is it just that?
I don't know. Maybe if people are lucky, they might be able to get a little something extra.
I like how you combine them. Yeah. So I like how you combined the first two candles and it wasn't working for you. Then you made your own goddamn candles and combined them and they work for you. See how that worked?
So I want to light this candle with the intention of just like, you know, being my own piece. And, you know, taking old vessels and creating new things into whatever it is that, you know, I feel is fit for myself in this moment. Mm-hmm. So.
That candle burning now.
Yeah, I was like, it just went up.
Uh-huh. I love that, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one I overpoured. And I was like, all right, whatever, it's fine, it's mine.
I like that. I think that's cool.
It's just like, it's the active energy. And like, you know, when you're looking at the candles and you're reading them and like how the different things, like, so now like knowing the science of the candles, like how the wicks and the wax work and the things like that in between, like the different, why that gets caused. And like, you know, then also like being aware and mindful of the mysticism of candles. Like you learn so much. You learn so much about it. just like anything else, you know, and then you just integrate. You take what
like
works
life.
and you leave what doesn't. So, you know, I wanna give space, like, you know, I asked you, like, what do you consider peace? You know,
Peace.
and you said to not be disrupted, to find the space to not be.
Find a space where you are no longer disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
That's what peace is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter where you go. As long as you're able to find that space where you're not, like, I want to get to a place where I could go to work and just be at peace. I don't have to be annoyed. Like, you saying hi won't annoy me, but I might be like, hey, back. I might, if I'm in a good mood. But yeah, it's just, you know, what does peace mean to you?
You know, when you said what you said, like, I feel like I very much so resonated with it. You know, like, usually after somebody said, like, I ask a question on the little bubbles, and then I'll usually put my feedback under it. But I really
when you
just
ask
felt
me that
like,
question, I'm like,
you?
what did she ask me this question for? Where's she going to put this? In my head. And then when I seen the bubbles, I was like, oh my God, that is such a cute idea.
Thank you. I don't even remember how that came to be, because I just, like, shared one of my thoughts like that when I was just, like, having a creative outlet, and then I was like, I should do that for everybody.
That's cute. That's like a little conversation starter opener.
Yeah,
it's really cute. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's like, you know, I feel like peace to me is finding that space to also not be disrupted.
Yeah.
But anything outside of myself, and when I am, to, like,
it's
recenter.
easy for you to get back into it.
To be
That's important too. Like, even if I gotta get out of character for a little bit,
to just
for a
be able
second,
to shift myself.
I want to be able to shift right back into my peace. Like, I'm gonna let me get you together real quick. But after I get you together, let me hop back in my peace.
Yeah.
That's really where I want to be at with it.
To not be disrupted, like, to not be, like, it's because, like, there's something, like, there's a song, I don't know if you listen to Jessie Reyes, but it's like, she says, like, impermeable, unbothered in one of her songs, like, the ending of it, impermeable, unbothered.
You don't have to give me the name of that song, because
it's called, it's one of my favorites.
You have to send it to me.
Dear Yessie. That's I'll send it to you. In case anybody else resonates with that statement, you can listen to it. I love that song. Like, that song is, like, one of my favorite songs. It's also, like, one of my songs that I, like, felt very deeply after I was, like, breaking a cycle. Although I, you know, definitely dabbled back into that cycle for some time, you know, like, but, you know, like, I remember, like, coming out of a space and being like, this is how I feel. Boom. Like, but, like, and then I remember at the end of the song, I was like, this is how I want to feel. Impermeable and bothered.
Don't you love that? When you could listen to music and relate to the whole song.
Oh my God. Then you like,
it just makes you want to listen to the whole album.
Absolutely.
And then you realize the whole album is trash and you just go back to that one song. Yeah.
It's like one or two that slap, you know what I'm saying?
The first two is all right. But the first one, you can't really top that first song that you listen to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in that space. And it's just like, that's why, oh my God, I love music so much. Like, I love communicating music. Through music.
Like, when we had that phone call, you know what my mood was? You know what I was listening to?
What you listening?
I was listening to Lil Durk all week. That was my mood.
That was the energy.
That was my mood. Now, I'm on to R&B. Next week, who knows? But this week,
I'm just like, I've been stepping out of my Drake and Jessie Reyes era. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I never really could get into Drake. I don't know.
He's a big bag boy. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, and he feels toxic.
I don't want toxic.
Exactly.
I don't want
you know
toxic.
what I'm saying? I feel like I use there's certain things that aren't just, I'm not gonna say like everything that Drake talks about is toxic. I mean, like 95%.
No, he has some 95,
good songs. You know what I'm saying? But there's not like it's like let me give him 70.
Like, I'm to a point where, like, I used to love, don't get me wrong, I love a good ratchet moment, but I can't even do, like, I used to love the City Girls and like their genre of music. I can't listen to that for too much long. Like, I'll listen to it
when I'm in a peaceful place. Yeah.
But like, if I'm at peace, I don't want to give me your money, shake this, shake that. I don't want to hear that.
No, I want to hear like I want to hear like Coconut Water. I forgot who sings it, but there's a song called Coconut Water. That's another one of my favorite songs, and it's just like it's so cute and feel good. Spotify, yeah,
It
I'm
just
gonna send
came
it
up
to you.
in your playlist.
It came up because it was like similar to something else.
Okay,
It was
'cause
one of those
I
ones
would,
that
I
I
wouldn't
found.
pick. What's the name of the song?
Coconut Water.
I wouldn't even pick a song just because the name like that.
But that's the version of me that wants peace. You know, it's like the version of me that's like, yeah, like I'm drinking coconut. I want these electrolytes. I want to like, you know, replenish my body.
Water.
Yeah, like in all these different ways. Like that version of myself likes to listen to music like that. Like
Self-care.
I've gone through. You know what it is too. Like I feel like I've been in such an intense place before.
That's it. It sounds like that song that you listen to when you go out to lunch by yourself.
For sure. It's like I feel like that song particularly, like that song is like I always picture driving when the sun is up.
Okay.
And it's just like, because I'm like, that's where I'm always at when I hear that song. And it's just like, I belt that song out. Oh my God. You know what other song I've been on so much, but it's like, it's a hard one to like, because it's just like, it's a hard one because it's so emotional and it's like beginning and end and beginning of like things for my mental. But like, I See You by Coco Jones.
Don't do that to me. Do not do that to me.
When I heard that song, I was just like, that's the only thing I listened to. Like, literally every day I was pulling up to the podcast, that was on full,
don't do that to me.
Like, volume.
That song had me in a chokehold for the longest.
Yes.
And when I put it on, it still does. Mm-hmm. I can't get over it.
I want to cry.
The whole album is good, though.
Oh, it is. It is. I love Coco Jones. OD. Yeah.
The whole album. I was like, girl, if this is not what I'm going through right now,
gave it to us. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But
it's just the first line. It's like once the music hits, and then the first line, it's just like every time, every single time.
You gotta go like this. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna be okay. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. Because you know, music, finding peace. You could find chaos in music, and you could find peace in music. And I feel like, you know, it's up to us to meet ourselves where we're at. You know, sometimes you need to have 10 minutes of feeling sad just so you can have that rest of your day of feeling peace. And that's okay. And music can be the catalyst for that sometimes.
My emotions is very up and down these days. 1 minute I'm happy, the next minute I could be angry. But I try not to be like that. I don't know why I get like that.
I feel like that just sounds like being a person, you know?
Like I just go very up and down. Like if I'm already up and then you do something. Like this.
Well, I think that's what we're talking about is cultivating that peace to have less of a reaction to how people are reacting.
I want to get to a point where I have no reaction at all.
Yeah.
That's
a goal to have.
When I get to that, I'm throwing a party.
Yeah.
Wanna know why? Because I don't think I could get there.
I think, like, you know, I was like, when you said it, the absolute to me instantly was like, cause like I say shit like that to myself all the time. So I'm like, is that an unrealistic expectation?
It's like
but then
a
I was
goal.
like, at the same token, it's a goal, and
it's so hard to actually get there and to find the peace, because you have to take those steps. A lot of people don't want to take those steps. So when I decided that I wanted peace, I realized that I had to take those steps, and I had to go through certain things that I went through as a child that I didn't necessarily want to unpack and relive. And it's certain things that I still haven't touched that I just know it'll take a lot
to get there
from me. It will be draining. Certain topics you just know from your childhood are draining, and you just don't want to go through it. It brings up old feelings, and then it has you feel, out of whack a little bit.
And that could only really be unpacked in the safe space that you know you can do that in. And you don't need to rush that process either.
And I always tell myself, I'm big on, I could do it by myself. I don't need, but you need somebody.
You do.
Even if it's just one person.
Yeah.
You need somebody to be like, listen, I'm going through it.
Yeah, you're safe.
Let's go get drinks.
Yeah.
I don't even necessarily really want to talk about it. Let's go get a drink. I'm that type of friend.
Can we go for a walk, or
let's go for a walk. Let's get the drink and then go for a walk. Like, I have you on the drink. Let's
Yeah, everyone has a way. Everyone has a way. And yeah, you know. Are you going to Zumba later? I'm putting you on the spot right now.
You are.
I am.
I should go. I should go.
I'm
not doing nothing else.
Yeah.
And it was actually fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Zumba was so much fun.
Shout out to Zumba.
When I actually participated, you know I was drinking too, right?
I know.
I was, whoa! I was like, it's so hot. I was like, you hot because you drinking, sis?
You were giving.
But it was my off day.
You were giving club, but in the park.
Yeah, in the park.
Listen, there are
what's
worse
wrong?
things.
Burning calories, having a drink,
whatever
I
works
do it
for
all.
you. That's it.
Just gotta.
I want to check over here to see if there's any questions that we didn't get the chance to.
I forgot they were there.
Oh my God, this is so hot. I really didn't even get the chance to like fix this before. Now I could fix it.
I forgot they were there. I haven't picked up. Ooh, not the mama calling.
Okay. All right. So. Oh, Elva's on here.
Is she?
Oh, wow, there's a lot of messages. Hold on.
Hi, best friend.
Okay.
Oh, we wasn't paying attention to that at
all.
all.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Good morning. Okay. It's okay to outgrow people. Yes. It's not always accepted. You sometimes need validation and a reason.
I don't need a reason for nothing. Wait, a reason for what? To be exact.
I don't know. That was from earlier.
Yeah. A lot of people get stuck on closure, too. In order to move on, they feel like they need that closure. Mm-hmm. Are you one of those people?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, me, I'm not. I don't necessarily need that closure from you. Mm-hmm. Just shift your energy. That's all you need to do for me to realize that we are no longer where we once were. Mm-hmm. Once I feel that energy shift, I'm okay. I don't need the closure conversation.
But that's peace. That's great. That's awesome because you have that within yourself. You know, like for me, I feel like I am getting into that space and I've been actively getting into that space.
Especially when you know that you didn't do anything wrong in the situation. What I need closure for? I didn't do nothing wrong.
Well, I feel like I get that. I can be that way with other things. There's certain things that
certain
are like
topics, situations.
Yeah, there's certain like cycles that like I really, really just gave so much space and grace for because I felt like nobody gave space and grace for these people.
Right.
So I gave it for them even when it was taken from me. And like
I can relate to that.
And that's what I needed closure on because I didn't want to abandon anybody. I wanted to leave everybody better than when I arrived. And like and simultaneously like having to choose myself and having to come to that space where it's like, yo, like I love you, like OD. Like I'll always have an immense amount of love for you.
But I just can't mess with you on that level no more.
This is just not it. And like and even some things
I've had to revisit. But do you find those conversations hard?
Yes and no, because the thing is like when you open up to having those conversations, they can be roller coasters, right?
Right.
Because now we're entertaining it. Now we're giving a little energy to it. Like there's a reason you and I connected for whatever it was, especially when we're talking about romantic relationships.
Right.
Like so once you have the phone call conversation, the in-person conversation, even in message, whatever it is, like when the energy is cultivated, even what you're saying doesn't feel like you want to say and commit to it because there's an energy under it. Whereas like, oh, but like that's why I love you. Like that's why I love you. But then you got to pay attention and accept the energy of like, that's why I don't want to be with you.
But see, that's why that's why I don't do that whole last conversation closure thing. Because what you won't do is you're not about to pull me back in.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I don't do that. We good. It's no love. It's no hate. We all right. You go your way, I go my way. Wish you the best.
Yeah.
You need me, call me. I'm not that cold-hearted.
Yeah.
But closure, I don't need that. I don't need that. Your actions just showing me everything that I need to see anyway. I don't need that conversation. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. They feel like that they need that last conversation with somebody.
Sometimes they have to have it with themselves first, really. Like I'm an audio processor, so like I really really digest things after I say them. So like when I took like a few years for certain things, or like few months, or like whatever the case is with other things, like I communicated them in the process of them happening, and then I made the decision. And then after I made the decision, time had went on, or things would happen, or they would reach out, or like whatever the case is, you know, and having that interaction where either like there's like blocking needs to be implemented, or like you know, you're good, okay, you're good, okay, you know, which is also a trauma response, because I'm not mom of everybody in the world, and I don't need to take care of everybody, and that part, like, I just have trauma of not answering people's phone calls and like them not being alive anymore. You know what I'm saying? So like, I really take that seriously. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people have done the most fucked up shit to me. Like, even if they call, I'm like, you know, like I want to answer, you know? Me. So
I tell myself I'm a sensitive thug.
Yeah.
That's what I am.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I took a lot of crap, but when I care, I care.
Hard. Yeah, that's
when I love, forget about it. It is nothing, nobody. When I say nobody, not a brother, sister, auntie, uncle, mama, daddy, nobody could tell me nothing about the person that I'm with. You can't tell me nothing. It's for me, I got to go through that. I got to walk that path on my own. Regardless of whether you might be right. He might not be the one. Whatever. She might not be the one. She might not be the best friend for you. Yeah. But I like to learn that on my own. I don't want to go off of what you telling me just because you telling me. You see it from the outside. Yeah. Let me experience that for myself, whether it be one time, two times, 3 times, or 4.
In order for you to learn that lesson and really integrate it, like that's the part of like not meddling in people's lives, is like you can't find peace for people. They need to do that for themselves.
And I also hate those friends that like you'll come to them and you'll tell them like an issue or a problem. For example, relationship. Say you come to me and you're just like, oh, well, he did this, and this. And I'm like, okay. And then I see you guys together, and I'm just so rude and disrespectful to him. First of all, Heifer, don't do that. I told you what he did. Understandable. You're upset. Yeah, granted. Yeah. But what you may not, don't ever address this man.
Don't hold it on.
Don't hold it in, and don't address him. Yeah. It's not for you to address.
Yeah. That was me.
It's not for you to address. That was me venting to you about a situation that I went through. That is not for you to take and create this hatred for him based off what he did to me. And
I feel like that's something that needs to be spoke about too, because it comes
that's
from
not your place. It comes from a good place, but it's not your place.
And if it's not discussed, then that could be like really bad. Like, and I completely agree with you. And just once again,
I don't need you for that.
Yeah,
I need you to be here for me as a friend.
To listen.
I don't need you to address him, because once you address him, then I got to step in. Because why are you addressing him? I would never address anybody that you deal with. Yeah. Don't address him. Yeah. If you got a concern, you take it up with me, and I address it with him.
Exactly.
You don't address him. Yeah. That's how you get choked. I'm real my man. Once you my man. That's bad. That's horrible. That is horrible. You over here talking about you don't know. That is bad. Okay.
I mean, listen, I don't know how it manifests for you, but you know what? But definitely like
not the dying part.
Yeah, like,
but I'm a ride.
But you gotta know why you're riding.
It gotta make sense. You gotta know if I'm just riding and I don't know what we doing.
That's how you on the way to die.
Yeah,
like,
I want to ride for somebody. I don't want to die.
I want to consensually ride for someone.
I don't want to ride and die.
Like, nah.
We not Bonnie and Clyde. I'm not doing that.
Absolutely not. I got a whole life to live. Like, I got a whole thing that I got to get done with or without you. You want to
die, you can die on your own. I'm not coming with you. I come to your funeral and all that.
Absolutely.
Flowers, the whole 9. I'm not about to die with you. That's why people be like, oh, ride or die. No, I'll ride for you. I'm not dying for nobody. I don't care who you are. I'm not dying. If it's not my kid, I'm not dying.
That makes sense.
Only person I die for is my kid.
Absolutely.
Respectfully.
Absolutely.
My kid.
Yeah.
And my mama.
Makes sense.
And maybe my siblings if we on good terms.
Yeah.
That's just me being honest.
And I feel you. And it's just like, it's consensually riding. It's like, it's
I'm a ride. I'm a ride to the wheels full off.
Yeah.
Like Elva says this to me all the time. All the time she says this to me. She goes, I will be here for you as long as you allow me to do so.
Mm.
And every time she says that, it just hits something.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, it's so much behind that one sentence.
Oh, Alva.
Where it's just like, as long as you allow me to be here, I'm going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you start moving funny and trying to push me out and being real secretive, girl, I ain't about to beg you to be a part of your life.
Absolutely.
Ain't no way.
Mm-hmm.
You going to come to me when you feel like it. You going to tell me what you need to tell me when you feel like telling me. We not kids. I'm not about to force it out of you or none of the above. But, yes.
Absolutely agree. Ooh, almost canceled the live.
Canceled it?
Oh, no, I didn't. Almost did, though. But, yeah. So.
Oh, is that my brother? That is the last one.
Communication is key. Nah, I say that.
Communication is key. I had to work on communication because I was. Once I get mad, communication goes out the window. Don't talk to me. Once you sense that I'm not listening, I'm not listening. Don't talk to me. Come back tomorrow.
Yeah, try again on the next
Like
time.
now, I'm to a point where if I feel like it's going to get there, I won't answer. I'll text you when I'm level-headed and ready to have a conversation. Because it's all about being ready. Yeah. You can't communicate with somebody if you're not ready. Absolutely. You have to be ready.
Yeah, I've had to learn that.
Because it's certain friends, they kind of like try to force you to have that conversation. It's like, girl, this conversation is not going to go well. Mm-hmm. Forcing somebody to have a conversation that they're not ready to have, it's not going to end well. Somebody gonna get their feelings hurt.
But I feel like the communication needs to be said. Like, I am not in this space to have this conversation.
Yeah, but sometimes knowing the person for as long as you've known the person, you know that person is not ready to have that conversation. Why does that person need to tell you that they're not ready to have that conversation?
At the same token, when that conversation is being put off, and off. And it's a continuous cycle that every time the conversation is about
so then you cut it off. You don't allow it to keep going.
That's what has to happen.
You cut it off.
That's exactly
when you feel that person is kind of just pushing you off and going around the conversation or just doesn't have the ability to have the conversation. You kind of just cut it off. Mm-hmm. After that, what conversation is needed after that? Sometimes when a person shows you showing me is way more important to me than you telling me. You could tell me anything. Yeah. You can tell me anything. Yeah.
But when you show me,
when you showing me what you want or how you feel, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna run with it. Cause you said this, but you doing this. So I'm going to take what you're doing over what you say because anybody can say anything.
I think that's like a big thing when it comes to like communication compatibility too, because it's like for me, like I've actively worked on not applying pressure for people to speak when they're not ready because I'm the type of person.
Do you feel like you applied that pressure to like kind of force people to speak?
I absolutely used to, like a lot.
And how'd the conversation go?
It depends. Sometimes it was what was needed. Other times it was not. And it was met with a lot of resistance. In the more recent years, especially in the particular thing that I'm thinking about, I also can take accountability that I wasn't a safe space for that person to communicate. And it's like, it's not like who did what and how it came up first or whatever. It was just like ultimately, like I kept on feeling like, I wanted a certain kind of communication and they were not able to communicate in that way. They weren't able
to give you that.
And vice versa. Like they wanted me to not communicate in a certain manner.
Oh, so you guys just weren't good for each other.
In that way. Yeah. And that was that. And like, but because you have expectations and potential like ideas that you like thought about for so long and then like acted upon, like it's hard to like step away from that, And I feel like even in light of more things recently, like there's other people in my life that I thought that the communication was even better than that, and like it wasn't. It was kind of like it just still wasn't compatible because in then having communication again, like just like kind of throw out that light, So it's like it's interesting. Sometimes you do need to take a step back to revisit something to really close it, And I'm in the season of like, having to close closing, like such important chapters that like I got so much from, but took so much from me at the same token.
I close it and that's it. I don't really want to rehash, especially if time went by.
Yeah.
Well,
For
what?
Everyone is different.
Everyone is definitely different in that sense.
And that's everyone has a different healing process.
Especially if you're not in that headspace that you were in.
Yeah.
It's like, why go back?
Everybody has a different, perspective on how they go about it.
Some people just don't have the time.
Yeah. And some people don't ever make the time. And
some people don't care to make the time.
Absolutely. And then it's like some people
But that only shows you that it wasn't really that important to them.
Absolutely.
That's really what that goes to show. It just shows you that it wasn't important to them, or you just wasn't, you held them to a higher standard than they held you to.
And then you realize,
and that's something that you got to eat, and that's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that you've been holding somebody up here and that person has only been holding you here. It's like, damn. Yep. Like, I did all of this and went above and beyond for you, and you couldn't even do this.
And then once you accept that, and once you start and you realize like where you're at and what you deserve, you start realizing that people start putting you and meeting you where you're at. And like
goes back to boundaries.
And it goes back to boundaries.
It goes back to boundaries.
Goes back to boundaries, goes back to self-respect.
People will only allow
integrity.
For me, I'm not going to allow you to do anything that I don't like. People are only going to do what you allow.
Absolutely.
And if they see that you don't have a problem or you're not going to speak on it, they're going to keep doing it. Because why stop?
Because they're benefiting from it too.
Why stop? Why would they stop?
There's no limitation.
If you don't say anything to it, why stop? I wouldn't stop. That's like a kid eating candy and nobody telling them to stop eating that candy. Why would they stop eating that candy? No, they're going to continue to eat that candy because ain't nobody telling them to stop. Yep. Boundaries.
So I want to, give that space for, to end the pod. And
we're ending. That was quick.
Yeah. We did the whole 2 hours.
Oh, that was quick, honey.
We see
what happens when you have good conversation?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
We could do like you was chatting about earlier, like, we were chatting in the car about part 2 potentially. So, we'll see how that flows, because this felt good. And I feel like we covered a lot of ground, and, boundaries is peaceful. Boundaries is peaceful. Like, I feel like that's a big conclusion.
Boundaries is important.
So important.
Going through old trauma.
In order to have peace, which is, it's so funny. Like, I always have this book, and I forgot that it's called Peace of Mind. Like, not me grabbing Peace of Mind book, forgetting it's called Peace of Mind on the Peace episode. And just accepting the fact that you need peace. And then, but accepting the fact that you need peace means accepting the fact that you we're addicted to chaos, so it's like about the withdrawal of that.
If I told you, I would be lying if I told you I didn't love toxic stuff at one point.
Of course.
I used to think it was so cute.
Yeah.
To be toxic, I used to think it was the best thing. But then I realized, I'm like, this isn't cute.
We're fighting society. We're fighting family trauma, generational trauma. There's so many different things that are coming up that we've been groomed to like toxicity. It's like healthy dynamics is like, is this real?
Unheard of. Like, it's very weird.
Like And even the things that we think are healthy half the times aren't even that healthy, and then you experience healthy, and you're just like,
this is different.
Speechless. So on that note,
how the music come on? I didn't even touch
That's how true it is. That's how true it is.
That is crazy. Okay. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're all good. Listen, this is
this is live, people.
This is real.
This is real.
This is authentic. That's it. Like, that's how we're giving it up. That's what it is here. So, I want to ask you, whenever you're ready, I'm going to read this, and then whenever you're ready, if you're open to it, opening up, closing your eyes and setting the intention. Like, what is it that we need to hear for, to... You
want to read that too?
If you want to read that, I could read if you want me to.
No, you could read.
Okay.
You said close my eyes?
Yeah, close your eyes and just pick whatever it is that we need to hear. Like, what is something that we need to hear?
Let's see. Hold on. Oh, I know that's right. Transparent heart.
You don't want to read it? You want me to read it?
I read it for you.
Okay, thank you.
You want me to go first?
You seem ready. I'm like,
look at this little class that we got going on. Transparent heart. Sometimes people make obvious what's in their hearts, not necessarily through words, but indirectly through their actions. Ain't that some shit? Do we make what's in our hearts as obvious in return? Sometimes we try so hard to hide our thoughts and feelings because we are scared of the unknown. We are scared that once our thoughts and feelings are exposed, they will not be taken care of by others the way we took care of them for so long. Were we not just saying that? We are scared of letting go of what is in our control and putting it in someone else's hands. We take a step ahead, and because of that fear, we take 10 steps backwards, not realizing that we are causing that same fear for others. We are scared of being misunderstood, and because of this, we linger in the state of uncertainty, not knowing what to do because all we know is what we see and not what we hear. Although feelings are much stronger than words, it somehow brings ease to our hearts and minds to hear what we would like to hear before we let go of that fear. We forget that sometimes simply saying what needs to be said can make any trace of uncertainty in others turn into a confidence that cannot be defeated. Girl.
You know what? I don't even feel like we need to read this one. I think, honestly, I'm gonna post a picture of that later in case you guys know that. That was everything that was our whole podcast summed up, right? Which brings me to like, I feel like what is most important, even after that, more important than like reading the other book at the moment. So I have this heart chakra bowl, and
I've never did this before.
If you guys are into like taking a moment to like finding peace within your physical vessel, mind, and spirit, which not guaranteeing it, but setting the intention for it for all of us to just give ourselves a moment of peace with ourselves, just knowing that we nourish ourselves, and having this communication, how nourishing communication can be, whether that looks like
communication is definitely key.
Whether that looks like expression
in a lot
of
situations,
actions,
art,
words, any of that, So just taking a moment to take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, closing your eyes if it feels good for you, taking another deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And just releasing the tension in your shoulders and anywhere you might be feeling it in your body. And releasing the tension in your mind, any thoughts that you may have been having, any resistance in your spirit, any feelings that haven't been feeling so great. And putting the intention to find that peace and that love within our own hearts and to trust ourselves, knowing that we have the ability to be our peace. And that's how we can embody peace outside of ourselves. Take a nice deep breath in again, in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And just wiggling your fingers and just stating to yourself internally or externally your first and last name 3 times and calling yourself into the space and giving yourself the gift of your own presence and taking that with you. You know, thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, sorry to give you that loud noise after that calm space. But like,
God damn.
yeah, I just moved the microphone. I gotta hit it with some WD real fast. But listen, we're such a human, and I'm so capable of errors and mistakes, and I'm also capable of great things, and that's, you know, that's the duality of life and this pod. So thanks for listening. Thank you so much, Paris, for coming on here and just speaking to my soul.
It
and
was so much fun.
And to everybody else. So I'm
2
sorry.
hours is not enough.
We'll make my time. We'll make my time for sure.
I had fun.
And
I wasn't nervous at all.
You did amazing, and you shared so much, and I truly feel like this was such a fulfilling episode, and so many people are gonna get so much out of it.
Thank you.
You know, so make sure to tap in with Paris and any of the things that she does and that she will do and that she has done. You know, and stay in the know.
Great things are coming. Amazing things,
and they're already here.
Right. Stay tuned.
So
I might have one of these bad boys on my own.
Exactly. Stay tuned. Then you have me on there, and we'll switch seats. But yeah, so thank you so much for coming on, and thank you all for listening. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. See you next week.